I'm Matt with etrailer, and today we're talking about the Titan chains with V-bars and twist links and cams on our 2023 Ford F-150. Now we're going to have this on our rear axle, and our tire size is going to be 245/70 R17. Now this is going to be able to fit a wider range of tire sizes too. That's just one we have today. If you're worried about this fitting on your tires, you can plug in your vehicle's information into our fit guide to find what's going to be the best fit for you. This is going to be a great option for anyone who's looking for some chains that are going to get you through some more extreme conditions and going to be easier to tighten down. The reason why this is going to get you through extreme conditions is on top of these twist links, we're going to have these V-bars. And these V-bars are going to be excellent for grabbing through ice and snow. Now this is also going to be constructed from a low carbon steel, which is a lighter duty material than some of our other options, but that's actually a plus for these because if they were made out of a more sturdy material, when they hit the pavement, or if they ever did hit the pavement, then that could cause some real damage to your chains or the pavement. And we're going to have this ladder pattern design to them. That ladder pattern is going to help you with starting or stopping for more traction. And in the center, we're going to have these cams. And these cams are going to help you take out a lot of slack in these chains because sometimes you just have a lever to work with and you'll still have some looseness from the chains. So this is going to make tightening these a lot easier. Now I still recommend using a rubber tensioner because when you drive, things will start to settle, maybe loosen up a bit, and the rubber tensioner is going to keep tension the entire time as you drive. Your chain's going to come in a set of 2 in this pretty light duty bag. It's a little bit better than some of the other ones I've seen so far, but with this being more of an extreme chain with those V-bars, that's probably going to tear through this pretty soon, especially if you put them in there where they're still kind of damp. It's probably going to get you through maybe 5 or 6 uses before you really start seeing some real damage on the bag. So what I suggest is investing in a small tote to keep your chains in so they last longer. It's also going to come with this included tool. This is going to help you tighten down your cams. Overall, if you're looking for something that's going to give you excellent traction for those more extreme conditions where you're driving through deep snow and ice, this is going to be a great option for you. I will say, since we do have those V-bars up top, what can happen if you go into any areas that have less snow in it, not a lot of coverage on top, and those V-bars make contact with the ground, they could damage your chains or the pavement. If you're worried about that, then I'd recommend some larger links that are square links, because those square links are also going to provide you a lot of bite through ice and snow. But if you are really in those extreme conditions, then it's going to be a great option for you. As far as putting them on, it's pretty straightforward, but if you need a hand with it, we'll walk you through the process. To start off the installation, I recommend grabbing some gloves, just to make this a lot easier. And if you are doing this for the first time, I recommend staying home and trying them out because you don't want to have to figure this out on the side of the road in the middle of a blizzard. But the first 2 things we want to look for is to see if there's any damages to our links. So I'm just coming down over here, making sure none of these links are broken or look a little funny. And then I'm coming over to this hook. I want to make sure this is in the right orientation and facing up. And then I also want to make sure these cams are closest to me and furthest away from our tire. We also want to make sure they're in the right direction. So they should be facing in. If they're facing out, like this, that means something's twisted up or it's already tightened down. I want to make sure it's not already tightened down because that's going to make getting this on a little bit trickier. But after when you've checked everything, we're going to grab them from the center, lift up on the chain, and drape it over. At this point, I like to grab this other side and push it up because I don't want to drag it across that rim, scratching anything up. And now I'm just trying to make everything even so we get a good fit. Once everything's even, I'm going to come to the bottom and get things ready to make the connections on the front and back. Speaking about making that connection, we're going to start on the back. I'm going to grab a metal hook and push it through one of these links back here. Now this might take you a few attempts because we're going to make sure one side is not tighter than the other, because if one side is more tight, then that's going to give this an uneven fit. Connection on the front is going to be a little bit different. Instead, this time we're going to have this lever that's going to go through one of the links. It's going to go all the way, so that lever is all the way through. I'm going to push down on it and push this link that's hanging off on the side through this opening. Once you've done that, I recommend coming back through and doing a pull test, making sure everything feels pretty tight. Now mine feels a little bit loose still, so what I'm going to do is grab that included tool and start tightening up these cams. I'm going to use the flat part of the tool, put it through this flatter hole. It'll let you know if you're going through the right way, if this chain or link is going through that channel. If you're going the wrong way, it's not going to be going through anywhere. So I'll just tighten this down, pull on it, still feels a little loose. Go to the next one. Get a little bit more tension out of that. We might be able to get this a little bit tighter. I'll try one more time. Might have to use both hands. Now I'll pull on it. And this is giving me a really snug fit. What I can do still is grab a rubber tensioner, and this is going to help take out any slack while you're driving. Because what can happen is when you're on the road, these chains can kind of help settle into place. And once they do that, they usually loosen up some. So we want to make sure it doesn't loosen up too much. So that's what this rubber tensioner is for. And the way you want to put this on is in a star pattern with these hooks facing out, so they don't puncture anything. Once this is on there the way that you want it to be, you can repeat that process on the other side. Afterwards, I recommend either pulling forward or backing up some, just to make sure everything's staying on here pretty well. If it is, then you can take it out for a ride. But that's just a look at the Titan chains with twist links and V-bars and cams on a 2023 Ford F-150. Thanks for watching.